Well, guys, it turns out we were robbed of having Nightmare as the main villain of Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. Because for those of you who don't know, Nightmare was actually originally supposed to be the villain of the first Doctor Strange movie. That's when Scott Derrickson, of course, directed that film. He loved the character of Nightmare, wanted to do him for that first one, but then ultimately decided, you know what, we'll save him for the sequel. And then Scott Derrickson, he was going to do the sequel. He was going to direct Multiverse Madness. It was going to have Nightmare as the main villain. It was going to be the MCU's first true horror movie. But then, well, you know what happened. He dropped out because of creative differences. And then we got Sam Raimi. And you know, I liked Multiverse Madness, but I still really wish we could have seen what Scott Derrickson's vision would have been as well. Because just to see Nightmare would have been so cool. Because Nightmare has always been my favorite Doctor Strange villain. He's always been just one of my favorite Marvel villains in general. I've always thought he's so cool. He's so creepy. He's so terrifying. And would work so well in an MCU movie, especially with the tone and the whole vibe of these Doctor Strange films. But now we actually have official concept art of what Nightmare was going to look like in Multiverse Madness. So here we have it. We have an official look at Nightmare in like this ancient text, like the official title where this image was listed under was like Nightmare Ancient Text for Doctor Strange in Multiverse Madness. And this looks pretty awesome. Now, I'm assuming that like maybe this is something within the Darkhold that would have been pretty cool, because this is something that even could have folded into Sam Raimi's version of Multiverse Madness. Like we could have easily seen just a quick scene of Wanda going through and reading the Darkhold and having just this shot of Nightmare in there, and then that could have just kind of established that like, hey, Nightmare exists in this world. And the fact that he's wearing like this medieval kind of samurai armor is really cool, again supporting the fact that he's like existed throughout all of history. He's always had a presence. I think that's a really cool element of the character. And you know, he doesn't look at all comics accurate in the shot, but that's the cool thing about Nightmare, is that he can take on so many forms. And I mean, this thing looks terrifying. I would love to see something like this in live action, especially the fact that he has his horse just like he does in the comics. That looks great. But then on top of this, actually, what's interesting is we do actually have a previs shot as well of Doctor Strange versus Nightmare. So apparently we were going to have a scene of Doctor Strange's sister dying, because that was something that was a big revelation at the end of the film, that Stephen's sister had died at a young age. She fell through the ice, and now apparently in this movie of Multiverse Madness, there was going to be a scene where Nightmare was actually present, where he actually was at least a villain in the movie, maybe not the main villain, but a villain in the film, and he was going to use that against Doctor Strange and like send him back to that memory of his sister's death and fight him right there. And so you have a great look at this of Nightmare. He looks really cool, really terrifying. I mean I wish there was more like green like he has in the comics, but it's still really cool that this was even an idea that we almost got. And it, you know, kind of really disappoints me that this isn't something that we'll see, and that we unfortunately did not get to see Nightmare as the villain of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness. But of course, we do have a third Doctor Strange film coming, so for all we know, maybe Nightmare will be the main villain of that one. We could get Doctor Strange in the dream dimension of nightmares. This is a really cool logo I found online that, you know, sounds pretty awesome. I would love to see Nightmare as the main villain of this third one, because, you know, going off the post-credit scene of Multiverse Madness, looks like he and Clea are going to team up. They're going to the Dark Dimension. Kinda, I'm assuming, setting up to have Dormammu as the main villain. That's alright, that's cool and everything, but I would love to have Nightmare involved here as well. Maybe even have it be that she said that there was that he caused an incursion. Maybe have it be that his dream walking in Multiverse Madness caused an incursion within the Dark Dimension and the Nightmare realm. That would be really cool, because then you can bring in Dormammu and Nightmare, and this just, I think, would be really fun and a great way to go about doing the story. So anyways, guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about the idea of the fact that we almost had Nightmare in Multiverse Madness? Do you wish we had him as the main villain instead of Wanda? And since that didn't end up working out, do you want to see Nightmare in Doctor Strange 3? So anyways, guys, for now, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.